So I made some spice cake. Stick around. Find out how I made it. See how good it tastes. And maybe you can make it too. It'd go great at this time of year. So let's make this spice cake. I'm using 1 cup of protein powder. This is the protein powder that I'm using right here. It's but you can use, I'm just using this one for extra flavor, but you can use the Isopure plain protein powder. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever protein powder you want, and it won't matter. So I've got a little bit of pumpkin spice here, some cinnamon, and some baking powder that I'm going to add to it. I've also got roughly a 1/4 cup of erythritol that I'm going to add to it. Now I'm just going to stir it to combine it. I'm using the method of cooking a cake where you mix all the dry ingredients together and then you mix all the wet ingredients together and then you combine all of it. Get this well combined here. But that was baking powder, protein powder, cinnamon, and a little bit of pumpkin spice. Just because I like a little pumpkin spice. And you know what? Let's add a little more. I'm just eyeballing it because I like pumpkin spice. Get it all combined here. Oh, that is good. Now for the wet ingredients. Now, the wet ingredients I have, you can use plain Greek yogurt if you like. This is full fat sour cream, and it is a 1/3 cup. And we're going to add to it 2 room temperature eggs. Make sure your eggs are at room temperature when the recipe calls for it, because it won't bake quite the same. So there's 2 room temperature eggs right there. And we're going to kind of beat the eggs and the sour cream together. To combine them. It doesn't have to be perfectly combined, but get it combined enough to where you can, when you mix it in, you've already got the wet ingredients together and it'll mix better. Now, the last ingredient that we have is some melted butter. I've already melted it. It's 3 tablespoons. And I'm pouring it in there. I didn't want to pour it in when it was super hot because it would have cooked my eggs. And I didn't want to cook my eggs. So I'm going to mix this together as much as possible. The oil or the butter is not going to want to mix with the sour cream and all, but you can get it mixed somewhat and enough to where it'll be all right. There we go. That looks good. Now let's bring back our protein powder. And we're going to pour this right in there. I need all that goodness in there. me get something to scrape it out with here. This will scrape it out quite nicely. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to start with a fork to kind of get all this combined together. And then I will switch to a spoon. Once I get it going pretty good here. I'll use my fingers because it's just me and my wife eating this, and she don't mind eating after I've touched it with my fingers. So now we're going to mix this up real good with a spoon. Try and get it as good incorporated as you can, everything. And I think we had done a good job with that fork. And now it's all pretty much in there. Now it's going to be a stiff batter. But now comes my favorite part. I'm going to add a few pecans. How much? How much you want. That's how much pecans I'm going to add. There, that is our finished product right there for putting in the oven as soon as we put it in a pan. But we ain't gonna put it in just any pan. You could put it in a loaf pan, you could put it in a cornware pan, you can put it in a cake pan. I'm gonna use a cake pan, but it's this one here that's made out of silicone, because it will stick less. Oh Lordy, I done made a mess. Well, you can tell Mike's been in the kitchen, there's a mess. And we're gonna get our spatula again after I get rid of the spoon for a second. And we're gonna put it right in there. Spoon it right on in there. Try and get all that goodie out of there, because I need all that. And you can't see it, but I got two dogs that are sitting here on the floor looking at me like, Papa, when you gonna spill something? When you gonna spill something? I know you got it in you, because I know you make a mess. Alrighty, so now we're gonna take this and just kind of level it out in here a little bit, spread it around until it's even. It's going to be a little bit of a dense cake, but that's okay. It is a spice cake. We've got a spoon here to take care of this. And just so you know, I did just lick that spoon because I wanted to know what it was going to taste like now, and it tasted wonderful. I could put that right there in a bowl and eat it and be happy as a lark. But we're going to bake it. And we're going to bake it at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. It depends on what your oven is like. But that's it right there. Oh, I got 2 of them there. Oh. Well, ain't I the lucky one? So we're going to go put this in the oven. After I get a pan to put it on, because I don't want this thing to fall apart as I'm taking it out of the oven and be hot to take out. So we got it in there. Now, hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, counting down.
And we will come back when it's done and check it. But in the meantime, let me just go over here. There you can see it in the oven, and it's at 350, and we got it for 20 minutes. While we're waiting on our spice cake to cook, I just wanted to show you I did a rendition where I microwaved it. Came out pretty good. It's a little bit spongy like microwave stuff tends to be, and it's a little bit harder than I wanted, but I microwaved it for 3 minutes, but it tastes really good. So you can microwave this. Okay, I pulled it out of the oven. Ended up being about 25 minutes, 26 minutes, something like that, from the time I walked from the back of the house to the front and took it out, tested it and all like that. 26 minutes, we'll say. It rose considerably more than what the one in the microwave did, and it's got much darker too, which I'm already seeing something I got a problem with. There is some baking powder right there. I got a chunk of baking powder. I should have sifted, but I didn't. Now I'm gonna have to pluck that out, because who wants to have a taste of baking powder in their mouth? Alrighty, we're gonna let this cool, and we'll come back and do a taste test. So I am joined here by my lovely wife, Paige. We have the spice cake that was made in the oven. It's cooled off sufficiently to give it a try, and we're going to do that now. So
it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm so ready.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Can we do it? Mmm. Wow.
Could be a little moister.
Yeah, it's a little dry. But
might need to up the sour cream that I used in it.
But the taste is perfect.
It's got a good flavor.
What's in it now? So what did you use? What's your ingredients?
I used a protein powder that is Quest Cinnamon Crunch protein powder for the flour. I used yogurt. I may have earlier said in the video that I used not yogurt. I used sour cream. I may have said I used yogurt, but you can substitute yogurt for the sour cream. But I used sour cream. I think it was a 1/3 cup that I used, but I think maybe I would up it to a 1/2 cup to make it a little moister. And then the spices, you had the flavoring from the protein powder, and I added some cinnamon, I added some pumpkin spice, and then I added some more pumpkin spice because I know how we both love pumpkin spice. So that's the flavoring.
So what's that?
That's pecans.
Oh,
I added some
okay.
pecans into it because
It gives it a little.
everything goes better with pecans.
Absolutely.
So,
Oh wow.
and we wouldn't be true Georgians if we didn't do pecans because we grow so plenty of them here.
Oh
So-
wow. The seasoning, the spices are perfect.
Right, and it cooked for roughly 26 minutes for it to be done. But like I said, I might add just a little more of the yogurt or sour cream, whichever one you use, and on it. But it was.
So what did you use? Yogurt or sour cream?
I use sour
forgot.
cream in
Sour
this,
cream.
but you could
Wow.
substitute
Never would've
plain
known.
yogurt, or if you want to use one of the flavors, go for the flavors. If you want to add more flavor to it, that's fine. Whether you use full fat or low fat or no fat, whatever you want on it, it's up to you. This was full fat sour cream, and I'm very pleased with it. Like I said, it could be a little moisture, but I am very pleased with it.
Are there any carbs in this at all?
There's probably in that little bitty piece there, that's probably maybe 2 net carbs at most, maybe 1
Okay.
at most. I cut it up small.
For
I
something
cut it
this
really
good.
small.
Mm.
But just for the taste test, I cut it up small. But it's not a lot of carbs in it. Not at all. Not at all. When you consider that the disbursement and how much you get out of it, it's not a lot of carbs. So there you have it.
Good job.
You can have a spice cake on keto and it be low in carbs. There is no nut flours. There is dairy, but there is no nut flours. The sweetener I use is erythritol. So I just use plain protein powder or flavored protein powder, but you could use plain and just make up for the difference in spices by adding a little more spice. And I could have cut down on the amount of carbs in this had I used plain protein powder from Isopure because it is 0 net carbs, and that would have cut this even more in the number of carbs in it. And the only really thing you would have gotten carbs from after everything's dispersed is the sour cream, and there's not a lot, if any, of carbs in the sour cream. So
Awesome.
that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button. It's just right down there. Doesn't take you but a second, but boy, howdy does it do me a whole lot of good. And if you like the videos and you like my content, hit that subscribe button and come on back and watch some more. And you'll be notified if you hit that bell as to when I come out with another video. I hope to add another video or 2 before Christmas. I'm kind of working on something in my head. I hadn't written it all out yet, but if it works out,
Something cooking in his head
it could
is
be
scary.
funny. It could be funny, and yeah, that's scary when there's something going on in this noggin. Yeah, so and it could be really funny if it works out right. If I can come up with enough stuff to do it with, but if I can, I'll do it. I'll try to do it on Friday or tomorrow, one of the 2.
Right.
So thank you very much. Don't forget, let's be careful out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.